will do a special promotional reading.
Yeah.
You can stand up.
Oh, no, this one is good sitting. You thought I was starting, but actually I'm going to hold up the flyer of the book. I have many here at the edge of the stage afterwards. Now we'll actually start.
It's an excerpt from a book.
Chapter 9, The Evidence of Fire. As I approached 5050 Roselawn, the time of night when it seems that anyone who is going to kill you is already too worn out or passed out somewhere to bother. Derelict streets full of a husky, flowery burp. The streets almost silent enough to seem like a stage set, with tinny megahertz bongos from old ladies' windows. And raps so low, it's missing its bass and is just a shuffle. I thought that with a court case tomorrow, he might be asleep at this hour. But as I pressed my zombie feet onto the lush stone steps, which for a moment made the whole building a temple surrounded by a passing fog of city, and definitely split like a spine under the chaos of steep, wide-awake sky. I thought that through what I thought was his open window, I saw the flicker of candlelight. Approaching the door, I began to realize I didn't know how to get in. But no one knows how to get into anything in this city. We just find ways. So with this single-mindedness and not wanting to wake him up if he was sleeping, I checked again to see if anyone's lights were on and if I could buzz them. Yes? Came a teenage voice through the slats of an ornate speaker. I want to visit a friend of mine who invited me over, but I don't want to wake him up. It's a chick, said a muffled voice. Are you cute?
Ah!
Hey, want to come up and suck my balls?
Ah!
Annalie would have said, fuck you, you pimple, but I just listened for a while, not saying anything else. And in the following seconds, no buzz let me in. I peeked at the windows again and tried a room that had thick, green-striped curtains. Hello? It sounded like an old man with a foreign accent I couldn't place. He coughed an old mucusy cough. I imagined him to be in a bathrobe with his finger pressed like a drill on the speaker button. Hello, I said, trying to sound innocent, but I know, like I always did, just crazy. I have a friend in apartment 23. He's expecting me to come in, but I don't want to wake him up or disturb him. A loud crackling took over the speaker, and I said hello again, but got no answer. I wondered if I would have better luck if all I said was, I need to come in. I looked around at the curb and gutter, lit like a stage, like I mentioned, so still under the street lamps, hoping to find something heavy enough to throw through his window just to see if he was awake. I found a cracked plastic flower pot next to the dumpster with its previous occupant and the soil falling out of the cracks. There was nothing left of the poor plant. It was all yellow. I looked up at the window and, without even thinking about the pot in my hand, sailed it in. The second it went in, I saw the even candlelight almost go out, and in seconds a larger orange light was covering the walls. "Ah!" yelled a voice from the room, and a window on the first floor opened, with a tiny Asian woman in a fuzzy sea green bathrobe staring out the window with an aerosol can in one hand and an unplugged lamp in the other. The lamp's cord was balled in her fingers, and she squinted at me, saying, "Get out now, punk." I don't think she could have known I started a fire on the second floor. "I've got a friend!" "Ah!" interrupted whatever I could have thought of next as the tiny woman looked up from her dark windowsill, noticing along with me that something extraordinary was going to happen. "I've got to help him," I said. "This is pepper gas," she said, looking back to me. "If you don't go now, I call the police." I thought to myself that she's a woman, and at least I look a little like one, though a malnourished pipe cleaner one. Did she really think I was so threatening? I wondered how long she had been watching me. "Will you let me in, please? His room's on fire. I've got to help him." "You set it on fire," she said in what looked like disbelief that I was even pressing the issue. When I looked up again, Jesse's room was dark. "Jesse!" I called up to it, knowing now he must be awake even if he doesn't want to speak to me for a week. "Jane Bouzi!" I heard from a muffled place and saw Jesse waiting for me, his face all red and his hair smeared back from his forehead in frantic knots, behind the glass of the once elegant front door. Once I was inside, he clamped my hands in his sooty hands. We stood in the lobby, which was only a cheap hall, but with a black rubber mat for wiping your feet, with Jesse's sharp nostrils getting bullish, out of breath, his eyes popping, but his mouth still slack. "Jane," he said in a low voice, his eyes in Orson Welles' shadows. "You set fire to my room." He let go of my hands and started jumping, throwing his shoulders into the chipped yellow wall. "How exciting!" he hooted, and I realized in earnest. He returned to me, holding my shoulders, a plume of burnt photograph paper smell tickling my nose. "I don't want you to feel bad about it at all. It's all just something new. I mean it, Jane Bouzi." He curled his hand in the air, encouraging me to follow him up the stairs. "I mean, look how excited I am. I don't know if I can sleep." As we reached his door, he put his hand on the brass knob and grinned. "You'll just have to help me pay for the carpet is all." And once again, I'll make this pile even bigger if you take these too. So I have a stack of 500 of these. I bet half of them are gone by now, but they're all here for everyone to take because we were originally supposed to have the book with us, but the publisher kind of slacked a bit. So
Publishers suck.
yeah, it's the same with record companies. That's a whole thing. But so they are supposed to have it out on October 1st, and as the bottom of the thing says, you can also get it on email on the internet. So you can email Amazon.com, Borders.com, Barnes & Noble.com, and you'll also find it at those B stores. So we're working on independent bookstores too. So You might even have a chance of finding it in an independent bookstore, which is a good thing, a good place to find it in. So we're working on that steadfastly. Town to town we go through, we hand one of these to every store and say, give it to the person who orders books. So it may come soon, and you can also get it for $2 off the store price if you get it on Amazon.com. So